Greetings, 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 greetings. Happy Friday. Yes. Happy Friday. Unfortunately for us traders, not our favorite day. Let me make sure the audio is okay. Tap in and let me know that the audio is okay. We won't start until we have someone to confirm that. I hope everyone is having a good day. Okay, so it looks like the sound is okay. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Now, let's pick back up on where we left off yesterday. The conversation that we were having was around the concept of flow and how to enter the state of flow while you're trading. And so we were talking about how there's an art of effortlessness in executing, and that's what we're after. So today, leaning on the illusion of control versus what it looks like to truly, truly master trading. Every trader starts out believing they need more control. More control over the market, more control over price movement, more control over outcomes. And in my opinion, that's exactly why most traders fail because trading isn't about control, it is purely about alignment. It's about stepping into that mental space where hesitation disappears, where decisions feel automatic, and where the market seems to move in harmony with your intuition. So, this is what us elite traders call the zone. And if you've ever had a trading session where every move felt effortless, where your entries were clean and your exits were sharp and you weren't overthinking, then guess what, my friend? You have experienced the zone. But the real question is, how do you stay in the zone? Yes? I need you to know trading in the zone is not a fluke. Once you once you experience that state, it is a state that you can cultivate. What's up? Should I call you Bree? What do you prefer to go by? So with flow, it's a state you can cultivate. And today we're gonna break down exactly how to do that. Because I didn't want to call you Meta, be like, what's up, Meta? Hey, all of them. Meta, Bree, Goat. Hey, I love it. All right, all good. I hope you're having a good day, family. So let's talk about how you can cultivate that state of flow. All right. First things first, there is power in letting go of the need to be right. I wonder if you can guess what what would you say is the biggest killer of flow in trading? I need you guys to tap in. What do you think is the biggest killer of flow when you're trading? Got the comments up on a different device. Okay, doubt. Okay, doubt. Ego. Ego. Most traders don't trade the market, they trade their own opinions about the market. And then this has happened to me, getting attached to a position, we start to that's right, hesitation, fear, all of those. Get attached to a position, we fight the price action, and then it's like they're desperately trying to force their bias onto the chart. And then when we talk about traders who can stay in the zone, They trade what they see, not what they want to see. And even further, they've mastered the art of detachment. So here's what the art of detachment will teach you. And here's what that looks like. So you stop needing every trade to be a winner. You stop tying your self-worth to your P&L, and then you stop forcing trades that just simply are not there. And instead, you flow with the market. You read what it's telling you, not what your emotions are screaming at you. And not to mention, from my experience, when you let go of the need to be right, the market stops feeling like this big bad enemy and it starts to feel like you're having a conversation. You place the trade, the market responds, you listen, you adjust, you execute. No forcing, no chasing. It's just flow. Okay. So the second thing you'll want to consider is mastering what I like to call mastering emotional neutrality. No highs, no lows, just pure, unadulterated execution. I guarantee if you ask any elite trader what they felt during their biggest winning streak, you'll probably hear the same thing. They'll probably say nothing. They weren't euphoric, they weren't overconfident, they were not anxious about losing it all. They were just present. They were just there in the moment, executing without any sort of resistance. So, here's how you can define the emotional state of flow. It would mean no panic on a loss. It would mean no greed on a win. Just pure, unadulterated, focused execution. So this doesn't mean that you ignore your emotions. It just means you observe your emotions without reacting. So when the fear, like you were saying, Meta, when the fear, hesitation, when the doubt, the FOMO, when all of those show up, you acknowledge those feelings, but you don't act on them. So the more neutral you become, the more effortlessly you execute, the less you fight yourself, the smoother your decision making becomes. Okay. The third thing to consider, we talk about this, is training the subconscious mind. What is the belief where you set your stop and it comes so close but not hitting it? Currently working through this. Okay. Yes, let's talk about that. What is the belief where you set your stop and it comes so close but not hitting it? So let's talk about that a little bit. When you're setting up your plan. So personally, I don't enter stop losses into the system. Okay. Don't let that scare you. I do have levels where the market will invalidate the trade. And so if you have properly set up your risk management, that fear, that anxiety will decrease. Okay, hold on. That fear anxiety will decrease on that trade, right? So if you have a stop and it's getting close to being hit, when you have a solid plan, sometimes that just comes down to risk management. Let me see what you said here. So it says not stops. I mean take profit. So let me make sure I understand the question. So you're asking what is the belief where you set your take profits and it comes close to hitting it? Is that what you're asking? Just to make sure we're on the same page. And so while I'm waiting on that, let's talk about how to train your subconscious mind because that's really where flow begins. Flow isn't something that you force. It's something that you prepare for. One of my favorite athletes to watch is Steph Curry. When Steph Curry steps up to that three-point line, It's a beautiful thing to watch, especially when he gets into a zone. Because when an athlete gets into their zone, it's not because they willed it to happen, it's because they've trained for it. Their muscle memory takes over. Their mind is already programmed to respond without hesitation. And in my opinion, trading is the exact same way. So if you have to think too much, you're already too slow. That is why elite traders, we train our subconscious mind. There's no way around it. And here's how you can do that too. So if you've heard the familiar phrase, repetition is the mother of all learning skills. Repetition builds mastery. So the more you execute the same setups flawlessly, the more automatic they become. What's going to help you with that is pre-market visualization. So before the session starts, mentally walk through potential trades, prime your brain on how to act without hesitation. And then another thing to consider is how can you eliminate mental clutter and stop overcomplicating your strategy? Because from my experience, flow thrives in simplicity. And when your subconscious mind is properly trained, you don't freeze up when opportunity appears. You don't hesitate, you just execute. Okay, let me see where we at. What is the limiting belief where when I enter a trade, I would set my it comes so close? That's a good question. I want to make sure I understand it fully. I set my take profit and it comes so close, but it reversed. Happened earlier today. It causes me to start taking profits earlier. So fear of losing money. Or it's a delayed instant gratification situation, right? That instant gratification is one of the reasons why you may exit a trade too early because you're fearing that you're going to lose money, right? Now also, just to kind of piggyback off that, sometimes you might have your analysis may be so razor sharp. It's happened to me so many times where my take profit, and I don't personally use take profits on every day. Like I manually take profits, but there have been times like let's say I'm traveling and I put in a take profit, the market will literally come up to the pip because that's how much of a beast you are. You don't even know that yet. The market will come up to the pip of your take profit and it'll turn around. That's because you're a beast of a trader. You're tapping into something you don't even understand. It's been times where, like, sometimes the market will just literally pivot on a take profit. You're like, sheesh. So, what I would recommend is either reevaluating the situation to look at, okay, let me maybe place a take profit in an area where it's more likely to be hit because keep in mind the market is moving a lot of money around so sometimes it won't go all the way up. Let's just say it's a psychological price level, it may not go all the way up to 1.5, right? So maybe you want to put it at 1.4995 or something like that to just increase that probability. But yeah, so just to recap that from my experience, that would just be the fear of losing more fear of losing money. The pain of losing money on that trade is greater than the desire to find out if the trade is going to work. Okay. So one of the other things with getting in the flow, we would want to understand how the process of slowing down allows us to speed up. I've shared this before when I was teaching myself how to play the guitar. I was like, "Man, I wanna shred, I wanna shred, I wanna shred." And so my teacher was like, "You just need to practice your scales for hours a day." And I'm like, "This is boring," because 1, 2, A, C, like, I'm doing each fret is, like, boring. But now, fast forward 10 years later, not saying I can shred, but when I go through my scales, it's muscle memory. So the fastest way to enter the zone is to slow down. Hey, no problem, Meta. No problem. The fastest way to enter the zone, slow it down, baby. Most traders try to force flow. Okay. They overtrade and they jump into random setups. They chase moves they don't understand. And the more they push, the worse the results become. Flow isn't found in chaos. Flow is found in the calm. The traders that can get into the zone the fastest are the ones who will wait, pause, and breathe. Wait, pause, and breathe. The traders who wait for a high probability setup instead of forcing trades. The trader that pauses before execution, ensuring that their decisions are based on logic and not emotion. And the traders that breathe between trades, resetting their mental state before jumping in. So flow happens when you slow down and you focus on the process and you let execution become effortless. And so the ultimate key to flow is trusting yourself. At the end of the day, trading in the zone isn't just about skill, it's about trust. If you do not trust your strategy, you'll hesitate. If you don't trust your edge, you will second guess yourself. And if you don't trust yourself, you will never reach flow. Can charting and putting support and resistance, trend lines, etc., for a few hours a day, 100%. Here's what we can add to that, KP. Thank you for that question, my friend. Is practicing your entry trigger. Do you use what platform are you using? Because one of the things I like to recommend with my clients and members, use the TradingView replay feature to practice training your mind. So I love that question. Thank you for asking. Um, I have different philosophies on back testing. I think it's necessary, but we're looking at forward testing too, right? I don't want to get too far off that topic, but to your point, building muscle memory, practicing looking for the setups, right? And then also on the other side, practice the negative, practice crashing. That's something that they don't teach or listen, I've had a lot of clients that come over from other programs and they tell me that their mentors do certain things different way. I'm going to teach my traders how to crash. Okay. Unfortunately, in the news recently, there have been events where planes have not been adhering to the law of lift, right? But I teach my traders how to practice crashing. So train yourself on practicing when your stop gets hit as well, so that you can emotionally prepare for what that looks like. So no, ideally, we don't want our stop to be hit, right? However, let's say you have a setup. I use engulfing candles, I use MNW patterns, I also use Rinko as a part of my 3 trading edges. And let's say I enter a trade, but it goes against me and it hits my stop. I need to feel those emotions. So I need to practice that too in my subconscious mind training. I need to practice that so that if if and when it does happen, because your stops are going to get hit, right? Our stops are going to get hit sometimes. Like we said, Meta the other week, they're not hunting just your stop; they're hunting everybody's stops. So practice what how you would want to respond when the market hits your stop, so that that emotion, that muscle memory, it'll start to build up and you won't react negatively. You won't take it personal. So that's something else I would certainly recommend is practice crashing, practice a perfect trade. I'm talking about seeing it all the way through the end. If you trade, let's say you trade on the daily like I do, and I have my trading plan set up, I use the position tool on TradingView. I enter, I practice, I close my eyes. This is literally what I do. Lay in my bed. I do this every morning. If we're going to be we're friends, right? Every morning, I practice seeing my edge. I practice seeing myself enter. I practice seeing myself in the emotions that I'm going to have when I enter, which is confidence. We're practicing confidence. I practice seeing and visualizing my trade hitting my take private or my target level. And I also practice what is it going to be like if my trade hits my stop, right? So that muscle memory, okay? Muscle memory. So here's a challenge for you. Commit to flow. Detach from the need to be right. We're gonna stay emotionally neutral. Like like I was just sharing, we're gonna train your subconscious to effortlessly execute. You're gonna slow down to speed up. Trust yourself because the moment that you do, trading stops being stressful. It stops being a battle and it becomes what it was always meant to be, a state of flow where profits follow effortlessly and execution becomes second nature. So, are you ready? Are you ready to step into the zone or what? Yeah. The the last thing I would like to share on this topic is that I believe trading successfully is 95% mental, 5% technical, 95% the quality of your thoughts, 5% your trading edge or way of seeing or entering the market. And so the more that you practice training your mind on not only like prosperity consciousness, money psychology, all of these expansive topics, the more you'll open yourself up to the true abundance that is available to you in the market. There you've heard the saying, there are trillions of dollars floating around in the currency markets or whatever markets you're trading. There is an unlimited resource, an unlimited amount. There is no shortage of money. It's just getting into alignment. And so I hope that during this live, something that we shared inspired you. And if so, if you had an aha moment, I would love to hear about it. Be sure to like the video if you like it, share it with your friends that are also looking to get into flow. And hey, come back on Monday. Divine willing, we'll be live again at 12:30 CST, and we will have a fantastic weekend. We were talking about it the other day. I don't really like Fridays. Fridays make me, ugh, eh, ugh. Is it Sunday yet? You know what I mean? Is it Sunday yet? So, hope you all have a safe weekend, and I hope you had a great trading week. And keep in mind, there's always there's always another day to trade. So even if this week wasn't your favorite week, guess what? You're gonna have another opportunity to prove yourself, take the lessons, learn from what you did this week, and just move forward next week with a newfound confidence. And I guarantee you, if you keep practicing visualization, practicing seeing what you need to see to enter your trades confidently, that muscle memory will take over. So until the next time, my friends, trade safe. Take care. I hope you all have a fantastic weekend. All right. All right. Peace.